I'm with Colby Wallace. I've been reading about this guy and watching interviews with him. He's been all over the news across the country for what he's done with these "Don't Give Up" signs. And I said I had to meet this guy when I came up to Seattle. Can you tell the story of that?
I mean, what we did was we heard about the suicide rate in the area, and it was, it's hard to believe that it's the number 2 killer of kids that are, I call them kids, 10 to 24. That's how kids are dying, in Washington and nationwide. So we heard about that, and then we heard about what Amy Wolf was doing down in Newburgh, Oregon with her "Don't Give Up" signs movement. And so we placed an order. We bought the 15 signs. We stuck them up around the middle school or the elementary school that my daughter goes to. And it's just it's resonating with people. People are seeing the signs and they're talking about them. They're having conversations with their neighbors, and they're getting motivated to, because of the media, because of it getting picked up and going around the country, around the globe. They're getting motivated to do the same where they live.
So do you understand? He put these signs in the ground, these signs of affirmation, and that garnered local media and then national media. It just went viral. And you said that the first sign that you put down, a 70-year-old lady, grandmother, came up to you, and what did she say?
Yeah, so sign number 1, we're sticking in the ground, and it says, you matter on one side, don't give up on the other side. And this woman, she stops and she looks at us and she's like, "Thank you, thank you. People my age, we need to hear this, and we don't hear it enough." And then we had a conversation, and that's really been the biggest, one of the best things about this is that people have been having conversations about the signs, and which this day and age, people do all this. They're on social media and they're texting and stuff. They're not picking up the phone. They're not having face-to-face conversation. And I've done more of that in the last 3 weeks because of the signs. It's creating those human connections that I think everybody needs.
Yeah, I think that the story went viral because it seemed so. People need to hear good news. And people need also affirmation in life. And it seems like every day we're bombarded with bad.
Yeah.
And I think the levels of anxiety and depression is just, it's terrible. Everywhere I've been driving, I hear from people about how anxious they are. And I look at the suicide rates. It's really bad.
Yeah, and the signs speak to everybody. Because they say things like, they all say don't give up on one side, but they say you matter. Your mistakes don't define you. You're worthy of love. You're enough. One day at a time. Stuff like that. And so it speaks to whatever the person needs to hear.
Yeah.
And so when they're just out there in the world, going through what they're going through, because people wear masks and you don't know who's going through what. And so when somebody comes across one of these messages that the world's provided to them, essentially, it speaks to them. It's different than having a loved one say, don't give up, you got this. It's, they're seeing it and they're taking it for themselves. And I think that's why it's resonating.
What's been some interesting feedback you've gotten? Have you gotten anything that really surprised you?
People thought it was political at first just because it's so outside the norm. It's a plain white sign that says, don't give up. And what is this all about?
Yeah.
There's not anything really like it happening out there. I've had a bunch of people reach out and just, share their experience around it, whether it's troubles with, their kids or with their grandparents or with their parents, or, they've experienced a suicide close to them, or they've tried to take their own life. And, one gentleman, kind of somewhat local, reached out saying that he tried to take his life in January, and that, to keep doing what we're doing, because if he'd seen one of those signs when he was going to do what he did, he might not have done it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't say for sure, but I might not have. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there's been a ton of that, and so it's really motivated, me just to people need this.
Yeah.
And it's.
It makes me think. I've gone back and I've looked at old postings on Facebook, on the Blue Cure Facebook page, which is the nonprofit that I run.
Yeah.
And early on, I would post affirmations. Really, they were for myself.
Yeah.
Because of what I was going through in my journey with prostate cancer. There were many times that I was in a dark place, and I would read something that would kind of lift my spirits up, and so then I would just post it. And I go back and I see that there are a million shares, literally a million shares, 500,000 likes
Wow.
for old posts, and I think it speaks to people because people need to hear that every day. Every day they need to hear that. And it also, what that's also taught me is that everyone you pass every day, I mean, just smile or just, say something nice to someone. It can make a difference in their day.
Yeah, and
In your day too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel better when I'm kind and I'm putting love out there, and it's just that simple. Like, I like feeling good,
Yeah.
and if I'm kind to people and like let the person merge in front of me, which I don't always do, but when I do it, I feel better.
Yeah.
And it's just small, simple things that accumulate just to make, hopefully make this place a better place.
If people that are watching this, if they're in Florida, Wyoming, California, wherever they are, Texas, how can they get those signs?
I mean, it's incredibly simple. You go to don'tgiveupsigns.com. You're going to pick out the signs that speak to you, and you order them. They're going to come, and you find homes for them. It's really that simple. I encourage everybody, if you like what we're doing, I mean, do it in your community. Like,
And it's not even your nonprofit. It's
Amy Wolf started this down in Newburgh, Oregon, and it's such a simple thing that anybody can do.
It can make a difference in someone's life.
Affect people in your community.
You have any other messages that you want to get out there? Anything else you want to share with someone?
Just be the change you want to see. Like, that's what I'm experiencing with this.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take the action. I get it. It's scary to put that sign in front of your house and think, oh man, what are the neighbors going to think?
Yeah.
And I'm putting this sign that says, don't give up. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to do it.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.